Hey guys, welcome to another live, in which I'm gonna talk about some of the latest thoughts that I shared. Some of them quite contrarians. So you'll see here, I was talking about AGI on various podcasts. Not sure if I need to restate the vision here, but I think it'll be the greatest gold rush. Even the gold rush won't do it justice, because the gold rush, yeah, maybe you had a 1 in 10 odds of getting rich, Um, if you are in the AGI race and first in the AI agent race, if you really are preparing yourself, learning technical skills and connecting with very powerful people in the industry, making sure that you're ready for this moment, which will be quite fast. You have very strong odds of 100xing, 1000xing your wealth in a matter of a couple months, in my opinion. This is strong shot from the hip, but yeah, quite confident on that one. Um, this is a quiz that I made. Sometimes I'm not sure what to do, oddly enough, as a founder, because I don't know, maybe I'm a bit disorganized. Generally, I know that I need to publish the podcast that I did, the pipeline, and produce content. Um, but yeah, I think we're always searching as founders for or very impactful activities, like what can we do, what can we invest one energy token in that will yield 10 money tokens back. I don't think I'm the only one in that position, and I was thinking of my past self back in the days. I wasn't really thinking about that because I didn't have a lot of time on my ends. I was always busy managing my employees and investing in something that didn't scale, like distraction. So, and who knows, maybe this content that I'm putting out is a distraction as well. I feel that it's one of the greatest returns. I've experimented with a lot of activities. I still believe in building my brand, whatever that means, mostly reuniting with folks that are similar minded to me, challenge my beliefs, get to the truth, and yeah, I believe that's quite profitable. This is an old post. Just a quick tip on content, guys. Like when you schedule content 1 or 2 weeks out, it's quite interesting because you get to reread what your past self wrote and it's not fresh in your memory. So you can literally be like, oh shit, this isn't clear the way that I wrote that. Um, so yeah, this here, I think, yeah, it's somewhat clearly written. It's about feedback. It's mostly like, yeah, people giving me feedback and they don't even know me is really risky. It's like even dumber than probably the cold email that I sent them because they're really shooting from the hip. Um, so anyway, not much on that one, but generally don't give feedback to people unless you have tons of data on them. And even that is somewhat of a waste of time. If they're strangers, if they're not people you invested in. Me, I'm invested in my co-founders, my business partners nowadays, my clients, which is all the same. Uh, Definitely not invested in the person that is cold emailing me, for example. So, and that was as receiving feedback from cold emails. Niching down. So yeah, a couple of contrarian posts here that you'll see. I got in a quote unquote argument with someone on LinkedIn the other day with like niching down. I did niche down. That was my first business. Facebook ads for realtors, $300 per month. Scaled it to 30K MRR, and it was a nightmare because these realtors were all doing the same thing. They didn't have like clear value props. They were like low innovation kind of people. They were money chasers, the sales type, and quite toxic, to be frank. So yeah, what happened is I couldn't really satisfied 100 realtors that I would work with. Some of them got dissatisfied. They grouped up together, tried to attack me, tried to destroy my business because their business was being destroyed on a daily basis. And that's what crabs do. They group up in a bucket. And um, I decided after that event that it was over. I would target my very ideal customer persona, which is serial tech entrepreneurs. These folks are virtuous. These folks are rich. These folks know how to create unique products that scale. Um, so yeah, this here is like, yeah, okay, you want to niche down, sure, but can you attack many niches at the same time and compare results between them? And yeah, I had this other guy, yeah, niche down, niche down. No, dude, that's like level one thinking. I'm 100 steps ahead of you. I've already niched down and tested this out. What you want to do, even as a young founder, is testing out a bunch of niches and observe these different types of niches. The realtor one, I decided to choose it because the market was big in Quebec. So it wasn't like the dumbest move. I think I had like 10 clients before deciding to niche down, or 20. And one of them was a realtor, right? And I was like, okay, this niche seems to scale, but what I should have done instead is not stop my lead gen machine, keep on testing to other clients. And that's probably what I did. I created other micro niches agencies before. One of them was called Fleed. So it's just a Facebook ads agency, no specific niches. Nowadays, for example, I have cold email for agencies. Agencies are a huge market. So I have agentseed.com for that, cold email for agencies. I have Sastronomic, cold email for SaaS companies. So huge TAM. And that's the other point in there. The TAM needs to be humongous. Humongous. It needs to be big. Not humongous, but like at least 100K big, When you're niching down, too much, and you start really focusing on an audience, most of the time it's people you don't even like and you don't even want to be like them. That's the problem with niching down. Oh, I'm gonna hyper niche into immigration lawyers, and quickly you find out that most of these immigration lawyers, you don't like what they do and how they think and who they are. So you're fucked, basically. Business is not just about money. Energy is also translatable in money. It's about knowledge. It's about associating with these people and founding other businesses with them and scaling, You need to see further than the Hormozy money, like, oh, niche down and be super hyper focused. Sure, good for him. Good for him because he's going to invest in your business, going to sell it. But he has 100 businesses that he's investing in different niches. He's diversified. You're not. So yeah, I have a strong opinion on that one. And by the way, this is advice for people that want to go for market domination and hyperscale. It's not for people that just want to get rich. If you want to get rich and exit like at $1 million and go chill after, niche down, like straight up niche down and don't ever look back. Serve these realtors, sell your soul to them, and you'll have your million. But if you want something that is perennial wealth that will pay you forever, which is harder for sure, you need to diversify. You need to target many niches. You need to experiment and never stop experimenting, never stop being creative. So this one is another contrarian one. Lots of CEOs hide their mediocrity behind an army of employees. I was guilty of this. More employees is equal to less accountability. I don't think that's most CEOs. I think having more employees generally makes you more accountable. Generally speaking, like I'm asking myself this question: when I had multiple hundreds of employees, was I more accountable? I mean, it was harder because there was like micro crises to solve left and right, most of which I outsourced to my generals, my COOs, my CFOs, my CMOs, my CSOs. I don't think I was more accountable. I felt more important. Oh, Mr. has 200, 300 employees working for him on a daily basis. But no, I wasn't more accountable. But generally, if you think of like big corporation CEOs, I think, yeah, I think they're studs, most of them. Um, and yeah, it is hard to manage all of these people. It is definitely more pressure, especially if these employees like turn on you, or if you lose their trust. But this year, I was guilty of that for sure. Um, you outsource some of your power to them, right? Oh, it's not me, it's them. Obviously, as a CEO, it's like extreme ownership, right? It's always my fault. Da, da, da. Um, and yeah, next time I'll do better because you want to show the example. But the point is, yeah, you outsource some of your mojo, and I think that is not good. I think your mojo is the most scalable thing there is. It will stay with you forever. Employees, they go, so yeah, I think I talked about that extensively yesterday, but I think the future is really like your nucleus powered by AI agents. More on that later. Every day you get a shot at the net. So yesterday I wasn't feeling that great actually, but it's a good reminder that every day you have a shot at the net. Every day you have a shot to score. That's how you need to think. And yes, it might be naive, but yeah, every 100 shots that you take, you might like score big. And another important fact here is to take notice when you score. I don't often stop to celebrate my victories, but there's many of them, and it's important to remind your brain, not for the feel good part of it, but so that you can try to reproduce these wins and how you scored. I think that's important. This one was short and sweet here. I often fall on my bike in my motocross. I fell yesterday. Obviously, falling on a bike is less dramatic than falling on a motocross, because my motocross, it weighs, yeah, I think like 300 pounds or something like that. It's a big boy. It's quite powerful. 300 cc. I think it's like 250 pounds. Yeah, or more. It is heavy, and yeah, it can crush me. So there is a way to fall, right? Just like in life, there's a way to fall and have a failure, reach the bottom of the barrel, and bounce back. I think us entrepreneurs were experts at that. I certainly was an expert from this, and maybe owning all these humans in the past decades taught me this. It gave me some very much needed resiliency. I did complexify things, ironically, did solve some problems, but yeah, had tough moments with these employees, and I think I learned that resilience. I know how to fall, and I know how to get back up. Once you fall, you dust yourself off. Is my body okay? That's one. Then you pick the bike up. Is the bike okay? You inspect it. That it's not leaking fucking fuel, and that you have fuel on your leg, and then next thing you know, you catch fire. Um, but yeah, you need to know that. And the main lesson here is that everyone falls. If you don't fall, you're not trying. You're not in the competition. You're in the stands if you're not falling. So this was some live copywriting, always testing out stuff, making good use of StreamYard here as a platform. We'll do my podcast on that. Yeah, here the Ikigai thing, I often talk about that, and that's related to the niches you target, right? It's not only about money, because energy, passion, and fun are translatable into money, just that people don't monetize these. They don't put dollar signs behind these, but need to have a business that you have fun running in some capacity. Ikigai is what the market wants, what you can get paid for, what you're good at, and what you have fun doing, I guess. Something like that. So yeah, this year is interesting. Like most people that I don't like initially as an alpha male, they become my friends. And this resistance, I think, is deep inside us alphas, like every time we see competition, there's this primal feeling that intercepts our cognition, and we get to not like the other person's like, oh shit, there you go, another big dog I need to fight. And yeah, at least that's what I analyze in my own brain. And yeah, these people usually they become friends. I don't. It's probably not that if you can't beat him, you join them, but it's probably something along these lines. My cunning brain was sort of wired to always come with a survival mechanism. So maybe it's around these lines. Maybe it's just myself that realizes that these people are smart, and that they have shield as well. Maybe they are doing it on their side as well. Joining forces definitely what's recommended most of the time, but doesn't mean to stop competing, right? If you stop competing, you're easy meat. So I call it competition. Okay, yeah, this one is great here. My expenses as an entrepreneur, I invest a lot in health, and I won't stop ever doing that. You see these billionaires die at 60, because they neglected their health the full time. Their main metric, their main obsession is greed. It's like dollars in their bank account, and it's definitely unhealthy. Not only they're burning the planet, they're burning themselves, they're burning their loved ones, they're burning their legacy. So it is this unhealthy psychological obsession in their case. They forgot about health, they pushed health aside their full life. And that's why their domination stops at 60. And next thing you know, their grandsons are spending on Bugattis and bitches, and they burn their fortune in 2 or 3 generations. Or bad investments, right? Like, hey, let's invest in FTX. So invest in your health. I'll never stop doing that. Obviously, I might diversify a bit more my wealth side, just quite weak, but investing in your health also like pays back in so many ways. You're a happy person, so you enjoy life, don't want to die. Maybe these billionaires want to die in the end because it's not fun anymore. Maxed out their wealth game, or they started getting beaten by other obsessive folks. But invest in your health. Yeah, like that means supplement, right? That means a treadmill I'm walking on. That means a nice house in the nature, doggies, and everything that will make you naturally happy. I think me personally and most humans, they're happiest in nature. We're happy. We're happy like walking in the woods and observing the beauty of nature. That's scalable, not like other things, like porn and sex and all that. That doesn't scale. That tends to bring you down. Yeah, like some people observing feminine beauty. No, not really. Nature scales. Nature is who we are. And the human mind, yeah, is definitely perverted. So nature makes us happy, like being in it and observing the clouds and smelling the rain, stuff like that. And I think everyone living in cities is missing out on that, and that's why we have diseases, conflicts, division. That these people they don't know, but they are so far away from what they are meant to be. They're stuck in another human's dream and vision, and they're not in the same path that was meant to be. Now, let's not get too philosophical here, but I invest a lot in stuff that people do not invest in. I have different philosophies with that. I think it is safest. I think health scales forever. And yeah, I'll probably will never change that philosophy. So here, yeah, quick post highlighting how, yeah, there's haters out there. give low fucks to them. Just take feedback sometimes if you think it may be valuable. Usually it's not. And there's folks that will have your back forever. Now, some of these folks might look like haters. For example, I have some of my best friends, like I told you, that at first I was like, yeah, I don't like that guy. It's like another alpha in the room. Need to compete, need to fight. But once we had our fight, some of them like publicly on podcasts, others in closed Zoom rooms, we respect one another. It's like two adversaries that went in the ring together. It's obviously less intense, right? And ideally, I'd get into a boxing match with most of people I associate myself with to feel their power. But yeah, you are best friends with them eventually because you felt what they're capable of. And just know that, I mean, you don't need to fight everyone you meet, but there's people that are there for you that will have your back forever. And there's others that just don't give a fuck about you and just don't give a fuck about them. It's pretty simple. And talking about that, because yeah, initially I used to get affected a lot by haters. Last week or the one before that, I did a podcast. I was quite contrarian. I won't say controversial. Also, I'll say contrarian. Controversial is being dumb. Contrarian is being intellectual and smart and going for the truth. While most troops do not agree with that truth, right? And I got probably 10 to 15 hateful comments on YouTube. People that comment on stuff are generally cowards. Most of them, they hide behind a fake ID, like on YouTube, and yeah, they're comfortable masturbating in their parents' basements, So at first I had like my old reaction. It was like, yeah, if I feel hurt. There's 10 people telling me like, oh, maybe I should listen to them, but no, how you need to view things is weighing, just like an AI LLM would, a neuron tree, a decision tree would. There's weight, So their opinion might weigh 0.0001, and mine is worth 50. So that's how you should measure stuff. And it's not that they're subhumans. It doesn't mean that they're less worth. Just mean that in that case, their opinion, which is technically not theirs, depending on how you believe in free will or not. Their opinion is not worth a lot, so it shouldn't affect me, basically. And in the end, it didn't. I just went over it. I thought like, hey, maybe I should reply. I didn't. I don't. And yeah, if I don't reply to it, literally means that yeah, your opinion weighs very, very, very few on the scale, and straight up, and I won't change that belief. It's quite a safe belief. It's not far from the truth, and plus it serves me as well, which is obviously part of the decision tree here. Yeah, this one here is somewhat similar to that. Like psychometrics are strong in my world, like how people react to stuff, how they behave, and if someone doesn't make sense in their replies, either on LinkedIn, their comments, or via email, I just won't reply to them, won't give them much weight. If someone gets outraged by an email or a post that they see, is like, yeah, okay, why do you bring so much energy to some fly? It's like when us humans were chasing a fly, running after it in a house just to kill it. It's a lack of good decision. It's a lack of understanding how much energy you spend to get an outcome of something. I mean, if the fly is right there, I have the thing to kill it, I might smash it and just continue doing this video, right? That's a low-hanging fruit. That's a good return on my energy investment. I don't know if the fly is going to annoy me later on. It's going to hop on my food and contaminate it. But yeah, some people, they run after it and they I don't know. They next thing they know, they heard themselves like running after a fly. I'm studying nowadays on Wikipedia unusual deaths, and there's these people that are playing golf, and these idiots, they smash their stick. And I was guilty of that, not in golf specifically, but in other sports like tennis, or although I never smashed my racket in tennis. Maybe my hockey, I smashed it on the ground, but yeah, I wasn't ever successful in breaking it. But yeah, these idiots did break their golf sticks, and the thing punctured them. They punctured their heart and they died. And like, how much karma is that? It's like, yeah, I'm smashing my golf club on the ground because I'm not satisfied with my own hit, which I could have practiced. It's like, how much frustration will actually change my golf swing? Not much, by the way. It's like practice, 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 and like separating, spacing, training sessions, and reading and trying new stuff and being creative and constant improvement. Like being frustrated at yourself, it won't change much. I mean, it might bring some momentum to have you practice some more. You remember that time when you didn't perform well, but yeah, generally speaking, you avoid just wasting energy on stupid things. And yeah, control your anger management issue for sure, because yeah, if you don't make any sense, you're definitely not going to be a customer of mine. And that's how I view things nowadays. I think that what I have is so valuable that if you're around me, you definitely have an unfair advantage with my community that I'm building as well. So it's in your interest. That's somewhat arrogant to say and arrogant sounding, but I believe it to be the truth. It's not me that's missing out on people; it's them missing out on me. Which is related to my next point, like the black hole system, client attraction system. Consider myself to be a black hole. Nothing escapes me, and yeah, I feel that if I'm throwing a bunch of great offers to my ICP, which is serial founders, tech CEOs, hybrid investors, I think they're going to get to me. They're going to become a client sooner or later. So a bunch of offers to my ICP, a lot of emails. So a lot of people mess that point up, quantity, which is something that I speak about often. You need to send a bunch of emails to be successful. Is like a laboratory technician making 3 experiments and being like, okay, we go home now. We've got 3 subjects and no, or clinical trials if you prefer. Like there's a number of human subjects needed to lead to a successful experiment, right? Usually that number is 1,000, by the way, in clinical trials. My first startup was a nootropic. We were about to hit clinical trials. Always been a science nerd, so you need volume. It's not by sending 60 emails that you'll be successful. I mean, I think a bunch of people know that you don't do that manually, but even nowadays, people think that they send like 57 emails with AI, they'll be successful. Doesn't work that way. I mean, you might get a couple of leads, but you don't get total domination. You don't get like the data needed to improve and be more creative and deploy more tests. People I work with, they want a lot. They have very high ambitions, and I think that's where my content is less popular. Some people don't understand what I'm saying. I don't work with low ambition. Like people that want to retire with 1 million in their bank account. Me, I'm aiming to change the system. I think there's a lot of things that is not working on this planet Earth, and yeah, you need money and power to get there. And it's not with 1 million that you'll change the world. Maybe with 1 billion, 1 trillion, but not with 1 million. Patience. A lot of people are impatient. They are testing on a scale of like 5 days and call it a day. Right? No, you need to test on a scale of 5 years or 5 decades. No ego. I mean, I have an ego, one of the biggest ones in some matters, but in some others, I have zero ego. When people diss me or reply negatively to my stuff. I don't have an ego. It's fine. You can think what you want. You're entitled to that in your bubble, in your world, and so am I. This one's good here. So yeah, this week was quite stressful. Uh, Personal situations occurring here at the Cormier household. So you have great systems when there's stress tests, like, and that is essential right there. If you don't have systems and something, an external stress, it can be anything in your life. Like, I don't know, let's say a close one is dying, let's say, or cancer, or your house is flooded, or, you just lost like 5 clients in a row, something like that. If you don't have systems, and by the way, this applies for lead gen, if you don't have systems, it might destroy you like a tsunami would. But if you have a system and every day you have stuff that you repeat that is solving your problems, you will survive pretty much anything. And it is then that you will understand why your past self established these systems and did all of that for you. And yeah, I have heck of a systems on my side. For example, exercising on a daily basis, whatever happens. My supplementation, walking on this treadmill, going to the gym, spending time. My wife, chilling out, not thinking about business when going to bed. Everything is systematized so that you can throw anything my way. I'll always survive. Like a rat, like a cockroach. So yeah, have systems. And when you'll know that you have systems is when there's stress tests. It's when something really bad happens in your life, and yeah, you observe that these systems are performing and are naturally getting you head over water. So yeah, some guy told me to stop trying this week. That was interesting. Cheers to that. Trying too hard, trying too hard. Jeff Bezos, to win the game, you need to work long, hard, and smart. Long, hard, and smart. Hard, hard, hard. Well, Michael, you're not racing the same race that I'm racing. If you're even racing, I don't think you are. I'll leave it to that. Name one person that doesn't exaggerate. Yeah, like humans, I don't know about you, but like anytime someone asks me like how much I'm doing, my brain is naturally inflating. Might have a trauma with money, actually. Like, first I had zero financial education, still don't to some degree. But yeah, like I mean, I was always a hard worker, right? And earning money. I had like 3 jobs at 16, and my car broke down, my engine, and then next thing I knew, I paid this car like 4K, this Mitsubishi Lancer, and then I had to pay the full engine on it because it blew up. So I asked my dad for a loan. So like for 1 or 2 years, I had to pay him back every month. And I think that was not a good start with money, like in my life, starting with debt, for example. And there's even some of that to this day, which is being fixed by my ability to make stupendous sums of money. But yeah, like when someone asks me like how much you make, I don't know, like I'll inflate it. And I know pretty much like 8 founder on 10 that will also do the same. And it's not necessarily trauma related. I think that it is that we're moonshotters, and we are the type of people that will create a vision and then accomplish it. And we've done it so many times that we lose touch with reality, like Sam Bankman-Fried did, like always projecting more. And yeah, if everything goes correctly, we're gonna get there. If some people start doubting us at scale, of course, not gonna happen, and the bank's gonna run. So yeah, I think we're guilty. Us entrepreneurs, we're always guilty of imagining some results that may or may not happen because no one's in the future, you know. But most of the time, we did it so much that they happen. So I think we inflate our income. That's pretty much of a fact. Been getting many leads from podcasts. Yeah, I've appeared on a couple of pods lately and have got like pretty solid lead people that um, are pretty big and fast on the trigger. I think I've got like 5 contracts that are about to come to tuition next week. People that are about to onboard with my services, 2.5K are each minimum. Most go with the 3.5. Um, and a couple of them came from podcasts. Podcast gives you this authority. Authority is interesting, you know, because humans, they need trust before they buy. So regardless of if my service is efficient or not, what I understood is that regardless of that, like some people, they need some trust vectors before they buy. And podcasts like, oh, he's important, he's on this podcast, he's speaking to 100, 1,000, let's buy from him. So yeah, I don't like playing these PR games, but yeah, podcast appearances definitely working. Plus, it's getting me people to uh, follow me and potentially become super fans or super partners, which is my goal, right? I want to unite with my kind. Being a contrarian makes you a bad friend by an excellent consultant. Yeah, that's a great quote right there. For those that don't know why, just that being contrarian, sort of being like an asshole, it's always like being, oh, but no, maybe that's not how you should think. I'm not like that as a friend, by the way. I do have a less contrarian stance, but yeah, and as a consultant, people need people playing devil's advocate and bringing new points to the table for sure. Monetizing podcasts, not sure how much time you need to spend on that, but yeah, YouTube AdSense, they pay you. Sponsors, they pay you when you have a podcast. You can sponsor your own services, right? And of course, the lead gen part. So you invite your ICP to a podcast and they become clients of yours. So that is definitely a gold mine. Biohacking 101. Yeah, I'll give you a different insights on that one than the normal ones. Just that I have like 3 phases in a day. Um, the first is the biohacked phase, is crunching work, it's execution. I'm on caffeine, I'm on tea, I'm on qualia. The second phase is at the gym. I'm not intellectually like executing something, so my brain is having a bunch of ideas. There's a new cocktail of chemicals in my brain at this moment, endorphin, serotonin, and everything that comes with it. And the third phase is the phase in which I think of nothing. It's like after the gym, right? Obviously, I write these ideas down at the gym so that my executor can execute the next morning. But I don't think of anything, so I have zero cortisol in my blood once I go to sleep. I don't think of anything. I'm reading Wikipedias. I need to refine my Wikipedia reading because nowadays I'm reading about unusual death, and some of them are quite macabre. So, yeah, that affects sleep adversely. But yeah, maybe I read also yesterday about Trump being shot at, so that didn't help. I slept good though. But yeah, I have these 3 phases as a biohacker, and that is quite useful to know that this, yeah, takes me places for sure. I don't think I could do like not a not caffeinated version of me also. But if I would have to point at the next phase, I think I would go off caffeine. I think it's a huge market, by the way, being a giving up caffeine coach, just using breath work and movement and alternative to caffeine and reducing the caffeine dosage. I think that's a great niche, man. Like an addiction coach. but a highly paid one. Um, and the second addiction that I think, yeah, most of the world is having is porn, right? So I plan to launch these two businesses pretty soon. The porn one, ASAP, and the caffeine one. I'm still hooked on caffeine myself, so I think it'll be a further phase whenever I'm ready. More on that later. It's a very interesting topic. Um, Freebies. I think freebies are interesting in this market. There's long sell cycles. The close rates are low-ish. So I think that if you think of offering something that is free and is valuable to your niche and is somewhat related with what you do. In my case, for example, with Top Leads, it's lists, right? I give out free lists, then people pay for bigger lists, then they pay for my outreach service or my scripts, you know? So it's like a ladder. It's a Russell Brunson ladder. So think of freebies you can offer to have people enter your trust funnel and micro transact with you, because no one or very few people will pay you 10K from the get-go, you know. Most people have scams in their minds. There's a lot of scammers nowadays. You know, there's these scam call centers in India. There's buddy of mine that was almost scammed not so long ago. And people, when they receive a cold email or when they're dealing with someone, they're like, is this guy a fucking scammer or not, you know? So you need to deliver free value. In my case, I post a bunch of things, but some messages of mine are cryptic and are like, they don't make sense to some people. Some of them won't be seen as well. So not all the value that I deploy out there will be consumed. Plus I have huge competition. You compete even in free land, you know? So I'm deploying more of these free products for people to become friends, business partner, and eventually buy from me. When I say that, some people will be like, "Oh, yeah, this is sort of being an hypocrite. Like you charge people, then they become friends, you know." Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying like you need to pay me to become my friend. It's definitely not what I'm saying. I believe that friendship is like win-win, right? It's you add something to someone and they add something to you. It doesn't need to be money, but in the business world, me, I'm big on money because I want people that want to change the world, you know, and that understand that money and capitalism can be used for good. So yeah, money facilitates that, and money is trust. You know, time and energy is a similar kind of currency, and yeah, I'm very much business oriented. Probably 50% of my life is spent doing business. So yes, you need to pay me and then we can become something bigger, or at least to have my time, right? And there's a market for Charles. Like Charles' time is limited and a lot of people want to buy it. So anyway, free offers are also fun because some people that would not want to pay you from the get-go might be interested in your free offer and eventually they will buy your stuff. So free mastermind, in my case, free hit sessions, high intensity training sessions, free list, free meditation group, which is quite popular. By the way, my meditation group was way more popular than my hit session. So yeah, more copywriting from me. By the way, I have almost 0 minutes left because I need to go. But yeah, this market is a tough one. It's I call it crunch time. You need to stimulate micro trust. Okay, so either free or very low ticket items like my $100 list. Using statistics when they can serve us. Yeah, we're a bunch of us entrepreneurs are good marketers and we use statistics however they serve us, this is hypocritic, you know. Marketing, I have mixed feelings about marketing as a marketer myself, you know. A good way to use marketing though that is a bit more objective is like these LinkedIn polls, you know. A CEO only gym, most people didn't like the idea. 60% thought it was bad. 80% thought it was good. I also checked like who votes and their personality and their psychographics, demographics, and so forth. So that can be fun to include in your copy, by the way, like results of your quiz, your inquiries. That'll be it for today, guys. I'm going to enjoy my Sunday. Hope you enjoy enjoy yours too.